What's up, everyone? I apologize for not getting a saw out this year. I've been too busy planning a wedding, working on my house, and getting pegged by Alessandra. That being said, I wanted to get something out here at the end of the year since this was possibly the lamest year of fantasy football we've ever had. Guys, I'm serious. I know I didn't do much. I didn't do anything. I didn't put a saw out. I didn't make any snarky remarks or anything like that. But come on. I mean, we got nothing all year long. I was expecting someone to pick up the slack a little bit, considering how busy I've been, but we got nothing. I mean, Zub didn't even put out power rankings because he was panicking about getting the 12th the entire time. AZ didn't put out his critically acclaimed "Thank you for not coaching" segment because he didn't have any service up in Russia where he was clubbing baby seals with Putin. And from the rest of you, absolutely nothing. I mean, fuck, I'm 26, I'm getting married, I bought a house. No one could think up a "your life is over" joke or how I'm one drunk squirt into Alessandra's cooch away from becoming a full-time soccer dad. I mean, I would have taken, "Hey, Keith, you're a fucking loser. No one likes you. I hope Alessandra runs away on your wedding day and your house burns down after you leave your computer running following the uploading of one of your stupid-ass saws where you tried too hard to get your friends to like you." I mean, seriously, I would have been pumped to hear that. Truth is, we all act like we have the greatest fantasy league in the world, and I understand why, because we do have the most kick-ass group of guys in the world. That being said, we all need to make a bigger effort to be more involved. We need more collaboration, shit talking, just overall excitement about the league. We need to be talking to each other. We can't let this thing slip and, make the draft the only time once a year where, we're ever talking to each other or discussing this. I mean, pretty soon we're all going to be busy. Who knows who the next person to get married might be? Talgo, J-Lo, Gus, maybe Pat or Pearson. But seriously, take it from me. Life's gonna start coming at you pretty fast, but we can't let that ruin what we have going here. Let's live up to the potential that I know this league can be about, and just take that extra effort on Sunday night or Monday or Tuesday morning. Send out that little 2-line email talking shit on Vito's hair or something that takes 2 seconds to draft. Anyway, in the spirit of sighing, I just wanted to leave us with a few things to remember about this season of fantasy football. So let's dive right into this thing and get fucking wet. So it all started in Montreal, where Still Team Poo Poo not only tried to clothe a stripper for some fucking weird reason that I'll never know or understand, but we also may have drafted the first player in our league's history who was cut by his team before the season even started, in Tyler Gaffney. Oh, and while Pearson was eating in the back of the room, I also drafted Dez and Brandon Marshall with my first 2 picks, so we know why I was one spot away from getting ass blasted. Speaking of getting ass blasted, Softy and Ty sucks to suck. You actually drafted the following list of players: Tyler Lockett, Chris Hogan, Tavon Austin, Victor Cruz, Nelson Aguilar, and Brashad Perryman. You couple that with the fact that you actually may have made the best pick in the draft, getting Zeke at 12. No wonder why you guys came in last. I'm really starting to wonder about the management skills you guys have when it comes to this sport. I also wanted to congratulate Beto and Height on their huge win this year. You guys' team was dope, and you guys really did deserve to win, even though the Alka-Seltzer, Kosher Pickle, and Lock squad of Anipol, Korf, and Gideon had some pretty dope running backs. Also, side note, Korf, I hate Cooper. He's a shitty dog. He's not cool. And I'd punt him into the fucking river like Baxter and Anchorman if I could. But seriously, congrats, Jake and John. Maybe you guys can use that money and this championship as an excuse to stick together for the kids and, buy some couples therapy or something like that. 98ers. You guys made a good run at it, coming in second. The only thing I really want from you guys in the future is to bring Jenna Cabot to the next draft, so I can check another draft day bucket list item off the list. So I don't really have time or the energy to do too many more jokes. So I figure I was just going to read off of a few concepts for jokes, not only to show you guys how easy it can be, or how simple it could be to stay involved in shit talk and things like that, but also just to let you guys imagination run wild. So, these aren't full jokes, but we'll have at it. So, you could have written a joke about Talgo's balls. You could have written a joke about Aaron and Talgo. You could have written a joke about Sarge that includes Aaron and Talgo's balls. You could have made a Louis' girlfriend joke. You could have made a JR girlfriend joke. Hell, you could have even made a Pat girlfriend joke. Could have made a Goodman, Pearson, and Chapin threesome joke. You could have made a Damon throwing a brick through his own car window joke. You could have made a Damon beating up Pearson joke. You could have made an AZSEO clubbing joke. A joke about Will and how he's going to die from lip cancer from dipping too much. You could have joked about hockey bags. You could have came up with a joke involving Gibbs, a whole pig, barbecue sauce, and objectifying women. Or you could have made a joke about Gibbs opening his glove box, having 6 empty 5-hour energies fall out of it, and so on and so forth. Could have made a joke about the amount of money Blake blows on concerts and shitty Knicks games. You could have made a joke about Mayo involving Mayo. What about a joke involving J-Lo and RuPaul? Or about redwood trees and Gus? I mean, you could have made a joke about Pole dating someone's sister. Or a joke about Ty and Goodman dating someone's sister. Like, goddamn, I love all you guys. Like, it is this easy. I'm just saying the league will only get better and flourish if people stay active and we kick this shit-talking into another gear and take this shit-talking spirit that we know and love, and make it a reality week in and week out. And I'm challenging us as a whole, as a league, to make this happen. All right, so now that all that shit is over with, I just wanted to talk to you guys about something else. So as you all know, I'm getting married in June, and since I am the first one to walk the plank, I wanted to get fucking wild with all you guys at my bachelor party. And I know we've mentioned this before. We talked about it at the Goat Roast in Montreal. But Blake Pearson and my buddy Mark Peel from home, they've been working really hard for a while now to get this all in motion, get it together. And the plan is to go to Vegas for March Madness. It's March 16th, is that Thursday, March 16th through, March 20th is that first weekend in March Madness. So let me put this out there first and foremost. I know Vegas is an absolutely turnt place to go. With that, though, I understand that it could also be an expensive trip. So, I don't want to put anyone in a position where they feel awkward or they feel bad or anything like that. It's something they don't want to do or can't afford, whatever. I've been saving for a while now because I know how much a trip like this could potentially cost, even though I think I'm going to come home with more money than I left with. But anyway, I completely understand if, people don't want to spend all this money just to come hang out with my degenerate ass in Vegas. But I did want this to be the ultimate Vegas March Madness trip. So, I wanted to just get as many people there as possible. I want people to know that they, tell your friends, tell your brother, anyone who's down to have a good time and come. It doesn't have to be about me. The more the merrier. I don't need everyone there for me. I just want to have as many people go as possible, and for this to be just the most epic weekend any of us have had since Montreal. But so here's what we're thinking, and Blake and Pearson may be able to fill in some more details for you guys because they're the ones planning it. But Blake's already reserved a room block. I believe it's at the Paris Hotel and Casino, which is dope because they have their own sports book. But what we're thinking is we're going to fly out Thursday morning, March 16th. Get there for when the morning games are going on that first round of games. And then, so we'd fly in Thursday morning, and then the plan would be to fly home. At least some of us are thinking that the best plan would be to take the red eye home at midnight on Saturday night, March 18th. So we talked about it, we thought this would be best because not only would he have to everyone would have to pay for a third night in Vegas, which people say is too much anyway. I mean, after 2 nights of not sleeping, they say like you're pretty much ready to go home at that point. So, and not only that, but if we would leave on Sunday, like the flight home would be ridiculously way more expensive, rather than taking a red eye home on like a Saturday night or something. And then also people would get home Sunday, like in the morning, mid morning, have plenty of time to decompress and actually get some sleep before they go back to work on Monday. Just makes a lot of sense to us, and I think that's what we're gonna just go with for now. I understand this is hard for some people. Like, it may involve you taking off from work for a day or two, and could cost you, a decent amount of money. And I know you're saying like, why the fuck do I want to do all this for this loser Keith? But I'm serious when I say this. Like, I want you guys to be there for March Madness, not just for me. Like, I know that. I mean, we're all alike. Like, I know that like we would all love March Madness in Vegas. Like, it's something that I know I'm not the only person that has that sort of thing on their bucket list. So I just wanted this to be like, use this as an excuse to like take this like crazy trip, this once in a lifetime type trip. So like I said, I mean, get your friends, your brothers, whoever. Not only do we have the March Madness going on, but there's also it's like the second week of where the pool parties open up. So there's going to be babes everywhere. So that being said, when we look at like prices and like what we're thinking, I kind of wanted to just break down the estimate for people so they kind of know what they're getting themselves into. So it looks like, depending on where you fly out of, it could be anywhere from like $300 to $500 for the round trip. We're getting a room block, and that's going to cost everybody anywhere from like $100 per night per person to like $150 per night per person. So, you're looking at an upfront cost of like $500 to $800 to get to Vegas for March Madness. I think that's pretty good. Like, considering that weekend, it's one of the busiest weekends in Vegas. I think that's like a pretty good deal. Then, what you decide to do in Vegas while you're out there is on you. But, you can get through the weekend without breaking the bank if you really wanted to. If you thought Montreal was dope, I'm telling you, this is going to be crazy. So that being said, I'm booking my flight tomorrow. We need people to start doing the same, or at least giving Blake and Pearson a yes or no, whether or not they're going to be able to come. I spoke to some of you already about this. It looks like we're already up to around 15 definites. I want to get that number higher. The more people we get, the better deal we get on the room rate and stuff. And obviously, just the more debauchery we can more havoc we can wreak around Vegas. I plan on burning down a casino while we're there. So, but I also think it's like Ron's birthday, I believe, while we're out there. So I'm hoping he's going to be able to go, and we can just get the whole crew fucking rowdy. So reach out to me to discuss. If you have any questions or like want to know more or whatever, or better yet, talk to Blake, Pearson, because they're the ones planning it. They don't really want me knowing everything that's going on, so they'd have more answers that they questions like what we're going to be doing during the weekend and stuff like that. So, but we definitely need to try and let them know and try to get them a head count by the end of the week, by the end of the weekend, really, because we gotta let Vegas know about our room block and stuff. So, and I try to book the flights soon because prices are sure to go up. But I'm telling you, it has the potential to be the sickest weekend, and considering this is my last hurrah before I drive off in the fiery abyss that is marriage, I wouldn't want to spend it any other way than run around the desert with my wolf pack. So we'll talk to you later, fellas. Congrats, Vito and Height again, and we'll talk soon. Until then.